Hey Kennedy, thoughts, opinions, reflections on the last day of the cruise?
I think it was a good way to end the cruise, going to a Warriors game and boating up to a Warriors game, and just like how on our other cruises we boated up to the Giants game, and I really liked it. And going under the Golden Gate was scary, but it was also fun listening to music out on the fly deck. Certain times on the ocean it was definitely scary, and I wish I never caught on the boat. But then other times, most of the time when we were on the boat, I never wanted to leave the boat, and I kind of just like staying on the boat and cruising. And I think it was really fun during winter time, especially because the water looked really pretty and the fog rolling in, you could just see it rolling over the Golden Gate Bridge, and that was really pretty. And I just really like to cruise out, and I can't wait to go on more.
Caroline, good times never seem so good, so good, so good, so good. Right, Benjamin, we are day 16 cruise out, and this is the last day. Any thoughts, opinions?
Yes, I'm kind of sad because it's the last day of the cruise out, but I love the cruise out. I thought it was a great cruise out. I would definitely do it again. It was a great way to end the new year, and it was a great way to have Christmas on the boat. I loved it. I thought it was amazing. Something that I learned was that you always have to be cautious of the big bad ocean. It's pretty bad, and it's pretty big, so you gotta be cautious of it. No, I'll definitely do it again. I just love the cruise out, love boating, and everything with boating. So yeah.
And we are also about 22 seconds into ringing in the new year, baby.
Yeah, 2025, here we come.
Not easily earned, sailing from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! Hello, little baby light. Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Happy New Year, Kennedy! Oh, Richard. Hey, buddy.
Hey,
It's your wingman. Wanted to get your thoughts, opinions, and reflections.
well, we had an auspicious start in Bethel Island, and that was a long time and a lot of miles ago. A lot of ocean, a lot of swells, a lot of water, a lot of issues ago. So we've gone through the trials and tribulations of boat owner and boat operating. That was a little trying at times. I think the ocean in the winter is a different place. I think the Pacific Ocean is way different than the Caribbean, the Atlantic, or any other ocean I've been on, because she can become so unpredictable and so mean sometimes. And we saw a lot of that coming in and out of the Golden Gate Bridge. We saw it with the swells, we saw it with the wind, we saw it with the confused sea states. But many times when we got into our port of call, we had some really great times. And Monterey was an awesome experience. Horseshoe Cove was a tremendous learning curve with 50-mile-an-hour winds right at the Golden Gate Bridge. Was not a pleasant experience, and hopefully we learned a lot there. Taking water in the engine compartment, not a good experience. Hopefully we learned a lot there, and the importance of always being prepared, as the Boy Scouts say, be prepared for all eventualities. So I think that's a big learning lesson, and by the time we get back to Bethel Island, that's close to 370 miles on her, and most of the time she's been a very forgiving soul, and she's been a good boat, and I appreciate her.
The boat went reverse this morning really, really hard. That's what I'm wondering if it...
It didn't go into this morning hard. We were at idle.
No.
When we went to turn around before we pumped out.
And with reverse, and went pretty heavy at reverse. And And that's what I was thinking might have been the culprit. Because we went.
You're live. Yeah. This is like a thing right now.
Oh, okay.
We've been only living together for 14 days. I mean,
Right. So this was our very first winter cruise, which a great way to end 2024 and begin 2025. We had two major holidays, Christmas and New Year's on the boat, which was the first and pretty exciting and amazing. Another ocean voyage, which was really amazing, going down to Monterey, which was just shocked that and amazed that we were able to, make that feat through all the weather windows. I learned about swells. I learned how to steer the boat into and away from the swells. And I also really learned about, probably the most important thing was intervals, the intervals of the waves and how important that is to recover from it, which I never really even thought about before. So learning about the weather was probably the biggest thing that I've learned on this trip. But most of all, I just love all the closeness. We're all in one area. We're all in one group. We're all sitting together. We're all cooking together. And I just really love that closeness of everyone being together all the time. And I thought it's a great way to start a happy New Year. So cheers, beautiful sunny day. And I'm really excited to continue on with more and more and more cruise outs and farther and farther and farther to go. More exploration. So much to explore. Happy New Year! Okay, here we are, taking the dinghy from land to our boat.
we would use the motor, but
We used the motor, but we had a bad.
we decided not to.
Yeah, we would use the motor, but we had a horrible windstorm that flipped the dinghy.
Hey, what is up, guys? All right, this is Cruise Out Day 16, last day of the cruise, so a little bittersweet. We had been planning the trip for, the better part of 4+ months. Ultimately, we had a big, hairy, audacious goal. That big, hairy, audacious goal was getting down to Ensenada. We learned a lot on this trip, and we didn't achieve all of our goals, but we still have them, and we did achieve some really big ones, though. And a lot of that was just kind of learning about trip planning, learning about being prepared, even just learning about ourselves as individuals. When you're out there in the big bad ocean, as we like to say, it can be very unforgiving, and it's not a time for fooling around and stuff, and it's really just a time to make sure that you're prepared for a lot of different scenarios and that you have a plan in place if one of those different scenarios happens to unfold. So whether that's an EPIRB on the boat and being able to reach out to the Coast Guard with a pull of a pin, charting and watching our course, watching all the weather buoys out there. It's amazing the system that we have out there in the ocean that gives people such accurate information. But it's also it's a great opportunity to see what you're made of as an individual. It's really a time where you have to be the best version of yourself. And so often in life, I think, I'll just speak for myself, we're often given opportunities to play and enjoy and to be around close people, the people that are closest to us. But sometimes when we are around the people that are closest to us, we tend to not be the best version of ourselves. And what I mean by that, this is really a time to make sure that you are, at 110%, because that ocean can be very unforgiving. And right outside the Golden Gate is definitely no joke. Definitely not something to jump in all half-hearted or unprepared. So anyways, as you guys saw, we were actually sitting on a dock for over a week waiting for the weather window. We had 30-knot winds. Our skiff got blown over with the motor in it. At one point, a drive shaft leaked and we took in a bunch of water. So there was just a lot of different things that happened throughout this whole trip. But one thing that I really took notice of is we need a bigger boat. So during this trip, when we were sitting at the dock, we took the opportunity to go look at a couple of different boats, and we're going to share those videos and those tours of those boats with you down below. And then, of course, if we're looking at buying another boat, That is because this boat's for sale, guys. So for $28,000, join in on the Seven Bells Harbor crew, go on massive trips and adventures, or just stay in flat water in the Delta, or maybe boat up to a Giants game, or boat up to the Warriors game like we did. Join the club, join a crew, or just take the boat out and, you know, and do it all on your own. Either way, this vessel is heavily equipped for those types of trips. Right now, we're actually at a boat shop and we're getting her hauled out right now because we're putting it up for sale. So we're going through all the oil, changing that, going through all the little preventative maintenance things to make sure this baby is completely dialed in. And then, like Richard said, we just came in off almost a 400-mile nautical journey, 16 days. So this really is proof that this vessel is going to treat you, your family, or your goals very well. So anyways, thanks for following along, guys, and until the next cruise out.